Hey guys, and welcome. So there's a new version of Manjaro out there for most of their desktops, if not all, in December of 2023. So today's date is 12/18. You are watching this on Linux for Seniors. Linux for Seniors. If you'd like to subscribe, look for an icon of a person floating above the time date thing. And you can click that. 280 videos and growing. I also have some links in my About section that are pertinent to this video because I'm using custom themes and icon sets. So spicing up your desktop for the new version of Manjaro Xfce desktop is what this video is about. A little bit of eye candy, pun on words because I'm using candy icons. Anyways, a Manjaro Linux using a 6.6.7 series kernel, advanced. I am not filming a 3840 by 2160. I'm filming a 1920 by 1080 though, so you can adjust your YouTube player accordingly. That's a fairly standard screen resolution that people film in nowadays. Again, you can adjust your YouTube player. A lot of them default to a lower screen res. So I'm using two themes that are not installed by default. All right, Sweet Ambar Blue and Candy icon sets. And I'll show you how to do this completely from scratch. I don't know what your skill level is, but a lot of people will shy away from Arch-based distributions because they all think that they're nothing but terminal-centric. They are not. Manjaro has a package manager, point and click. I'll even show you that by installing something like a game. I will say welcome, folks, and close this screen. Again, you're watching this on Linux for Seniors. Now, these menus are very fancy looking icons, but more importantly, they may not be your thing. That's a Firefox icon if you're curious. And I'm going to talk about the themes and what they look like and how to install them. I'll be talking a lot about appearance today. This is not found by default, but you do have a lot of styles and icon sets that you can pick from. And sometimes even the ones that come with the system are missing icons. I'll show you that in a little bit. And it's not just because of Manjaro, because a lot of times it's the desktops like Xfce using a certain theme. Nothing is perfect. So I have my panel bar enlarged slightly, and I'm not really going to talk about all those features today, but I will open up the package manager so you can at least see that this is point and click, and you can see how brightly colored this stuff is. This is PMAC with a custom icon that came with the set of candy icons. So again, this is an Arch-based distribution, but it does have a nice package manager. All you do is click to download. We can also browse or search. So I'm going to look for card games. There's two reasons I'm showing you this. One, to show you how simple you can install that for new users, and also about some of the icons and colors in here, because some of the menus will have duller looking icons. I'm going to pick on this card game right here. And one operation pending, apply. Okay, we'll choose. And one more, apply, and password time. I think most people can figure this one out. All right, so I'm going to leave this up for a second, and I'm going to open that game I just installed. It's this one right here. So as you can see, the close button is different than that one over here. So this one's brightly colored compared to the other one from the Klondike game. All right, so you will see some of those kind of effects. All right, very nice package manager. Close it is. File manager is a see-through icon. Drag it over here where you can see that. And I'll put it back. My user for today is called Man1. Manjaro. Could be Mary, could be Bob, but I named it Man1. Since I never know when I have a new subscriber or a new viewer on my new channel, because this is not the first time that I've done this. I've had a separate channel in the last 5 years, but more importantly, I'm going to make mention of how to resize icons for the ones that have never seen any of my videos. I know a lot of my subscribers have already seen many of these little tricks. So standard keyboard, wireless keyboard, standard computer mouse with a scroll wheel. I'm going to hold down the control key while scrolling up to make them, well, bigger. Scrolling backwards to make them dinky or small. And somewhere in between. If you're curious, what is this mouse pointer called? I have lots of videos on how to install mouse pointers or mouse cursors. They're only installed in 2 locations on all Linux distributions. However, I have lots of videos on how to walk you through that completely. So I'm going to press Control and H. It shows me my hidden files and folders. So the dot icons folder or period icons folder I generate quite often myself. However, today when I installed this theme through the normal method, it installed this folder automatically and placed the candy icons in there at the same time. And then I have a separate drive right here, which I have lots of, well, files and mouse pointers, and this radioactive one I installed manually. So I will go backwards. One more. So too many. Anyways, that's the mouse pointer right there, and that's the candy icons that you're seeing right here. They're installed in that folder. Not that you need to remember this. I'm just letting you see this. Okay, I'm going to hit Control H. So you may not like these icons. Maybe they're too colorful, or maybe you will like them. But everybody's different, and I'm going to show you where you can get those different things. There's over 1,000 different themes you can pick from. Okay, and I downloaded 2 files here. A little too big maybe. I downloaded the candy icons, that's what you're seeing, and the blue ambar style or theme. So there are 2 files that do I need to uncompress these? Because if you don't know what these are in tar format, tape archive. I've been around computers for over 40 years. Tar has been around since the Unix days. Tar by itself with no extension on the end of it is not compressed. If you have a solid state drive nowadays, using tar for backups is lightning fast. Yeah, it's been around for a long time. But there's also compressed tar. And a lot of these sites that I'm about to show you use compression to download the file faster. But it's in tar format. That is tar.xc. If you noticed my folder in here, let me open up mouse pointers for a second. That's in regular tar. And this is in tar.gz. Just as examples. Okay, so let me resize that back and close. Let's talk about themes, your appearance. May I also make the recommendation before you change, whether you choose the internal themes that are already installed or if you install them by hitting add, that you make screenshots of not only this but also the icon sets. Okay, the tool is in your Manjaro menu. It's SC. Screenshot tool. A lot of you folks have a print screen key on your keyboard, but it normally only does entire screen under default conditions. But this tool can do entire, active, or select. My favorite is this one because it only takes a picture of this box. It never takes a picture of the tool. If you do entire, it's wallpaper, box, and panel. It usually makes for a big file. But take the screenshot of what you start with before you make changes. It's just a suggestion. Okay. Now, before I show you how to add these themes and where to download them, let me talk a little bit about icon sets in general. So you can see mine are currently here and these 3. I'm going to throw you for a loop by doing that and point to the fact that these are missing. This came with this system, this Adwaita icon and Adwaita style. This is not a Manjaro problem. This you'll also find on different desktops for Xfce also. They're not perfect, in other words. They're missing these icons. That doesn't mean you can't use them. And some of these will be 1, maybe 2, or maybe none on some systems. Yeah, they're kind of interesting effect when you have certain things, when you're mixing styles and icon sets. So for me to fix this problem is rather simple. I just do that. I just switched the icon set. Now I have icons. You don't like the light color? Well, let's go with the dark then. Anyways, you can intermix stuff. Okay, all these are changing. Now I'll go back to where I had these and continue. Okay, how do we add this or any other set for that matter? Okay, so I will open up a web browser and I will actually talk about this website right now. xfce-look.org is where you can get these themes and also mouse pointers or cursors. There is another website that I also have in my YouTube site, along with this one I just added, that is the same amount of data. So let me open this up for a second. If you've never been on my YouTube site, I do encourage that you subscribe. I have 280 videos and growing, but I have some links for you. All right, the one I just added is this one, xfce-look. These are non-profit websites. But I'm going to click this one though. This one I've had up for a long time. And I'm only going to point to one category currently, and that's the cursor side. Okay. We can also look at the GDK 3 and 4. It's 1539 and 824. 1539 and 824. This is xfce-look.org. Okay, so in other words, they are sharing their same data. All right, we're going to start here. So there are 1,539 things you can play with. The older ones are GDK2s, 3651. Your mouse pointers or cursors are located here. This one here, you can find actually in here. I'll talk about that in a minute. But, and also the icon set. The candy icon set can be found in here. So let's start here first. We can do this by latest. We can do this by rating. Okay. So as you're looking through these, you may not like some of them, right? Everybody's different. Everybody's cup of tea is different. Well, they could be the same cup of tea, but you get where I'm going with this. All right, so this developer here is the same one that created the candy icons. Okay, so if you want this one, for instance, this is a GDK 3 and 4. Let's take a look at see what they look like. I'm going to do the plus thing. Okay, then I can also change the picture, and here we have the dark version of that. It looks like 4 files, and that's a shame when I read stuff like that. I don't know why people have to be like this, but anyways, it doesn't take away from any of the work that this developer does. And a lot of these folks spend a lot of their hard-earned time doing this, and they should be recognized for that. All right, so there are 4 files here. Different version of tar here, tar.xc. 1, 2, 3, 4 files. All right, I'm going to take you back, and we're going to find the theme that I'm currently using. It was rated at number 6 yesterday, so these change daily. And it's now 12. All right, I'm going to click that. And the reason I'm doing this is because of the theme that I'm using, just to be consistent. Okay, so that's what I'm using, the candy icon theme, but it's sweet. Okay, so there's some different screenshots for you. It's even got a lighter version here. So there are 12 files here, and also another important note here. Crazy number of fake accounts. Yeah, okay, it's really a shame when I read that stuff. But that doesn't take away from anything that this person has done. It's great work, at least in my book. So there's lots of files here. All right, so this is the one that I'm currently using. So I'm just going to demo that for you. You can either click that, and that is a compressed tar, tape archive, XE, or you can click the download, not the install. Download the whole thing. And I noticed both those sites, the XFC and the GNOME, are having sponsors now, and that's great, and they give them a mini tip. That means you don't pay for it, but more importantly, somebody's sponsoring them for their great work. And I'm glad to see that that's actually happening. So there's a lot of folks in the Linux community, they do a lot of work for pro bono, in other words, free. So anyways, let's continue. So right now this is downloading and it's finished because I have a fairly fast connection. And let's go take a peek at the file manager time, and we're going to go to downloads. So that's just a duplicate of that one. Sweet Amber Blue Dark version 40.tar bracket 1.exe. So that's the original, and that's just a copy of it. I'm just giving you the exercise of download. We still need to go find that one. So that one there is not located here. That one is located here. Full icon themes. So we have lots of choices, as one would say, 1,700 of them. Okay, this is the one that I'm using currently, but I'm going to keep scrolling. So we can see there's lots of themes in here. You may recognize that one if you've ever used Windows 11. But anyways, let me continue. So you have lots of choices. All right, so I'm going to be consistent and stay with the same theme so I can show you all this. So that's the candy icons, the ones that you've been seeing. Okay, there's only one file for that. And again, another important note there about the same thing. Again, really unfortunate when I read stuff like that. That doesn't take away anything from these the work of these folks that are doing great work. All right, so anyways, now you can see what this stuff looks like. One file that you need to download in this case. Okay, I don't know, and it's a different sponsor, it looks like, too. Okay, so again, click the button when you get ready and download the thing. You notice that's a little bit bigger file. There's a lot of icons in here. Oh, while I'm at this, I might as well show you this. If you're curious about this mouse cursor, use the search feature at the top, not this one. And it doesn't matter if you're on GNOME-Look either. It's the same. They both have the same search feature. Anyways, this is the file you want. It's that one. If you're interested in this cursor. And that one is compressed also in tar, but GZ, not exe. So, sorry, wrong folder. So that is exe, tar.exe, and this is GZ. So a different version of tar, tape archive, different compression. Anyways, this is the file you want if you want this cursor. Now I'm going to close all this, and I'll get rid of that because that's a duplicate of that one. But I just wanted to give you the demo on downloading these two. Now, do you need to uncompress these things? Well, that depends. Are you going to do this manually? Because I'm not going to cover that in this video. I did on my previous channel. But I'm going to just show you how to do this with the automation. So no, I'm not going to uncompress them. I'm going to leave them here. I'm going to walk over to the Manjaro menu and open this and do the appearance thing. Hit the add. Go find your download folder. And again, we're dealing with style. So to be consistent, you could use this key on both, but to be consistent, you can do style, this one first, and hit open, and it'll install itself. And then you may get a message down here that it's not a matching icon set. That's fine, you're not done yet. So let's be consistent. We can go to icons and do add here, and downloads, and candy icons, and hit open. And that'll install that here. Okay, I'm just doing this consistently using both these categories. All right, so the candy icons actually get installed in this folder right here. I'm going to have to turn on hidden for a second. It's installed right there. So if I theoretically let me see what's in my trash. I'm going to dump this if you don't mind. I'm going to go back up one. And I'm going to actually delete that on purpose. I'll come back to this in a second. I just want to let you see how quickly I can uninstall that. You notice that this changed because it's not finding that information, because that candy icon is missing. That's why these are intermixed. And now they're just flipped over automatically. Okay. But because I eliminated the icon set, which is not a good thing to do while you're running. I want to restore that. All right. Now I'm going to go back and switch this. Okay, sweet and sweet. And let me just do a refresh real quick. Let me just make sure everybody refreshes. There we go. Sometimes you need to do that because you know, the system is interactively looking at what you're doing here. So now I'm back to it. The menu should all be back to where it was. All right, now that I've shown all that, hopefully that was clear. So really, you're just looking for files with themes on them that you're installing. Let me turn off hidden. And again, in this case, it's just 2. Okay, but the websites, again, you can find through my YouTube site, or you can look it up on your own. All right, let me get rid of that. And more importantly, now let me talk about, for new users, how to add some dedicated 30-second shutdown and restart buttons or icons. And then also in here, instead of a manual click, you'll have 60 seconds. So we'll start with the panel. Right click, panel, add new. Right click, panel, add new items. All right, so the name of my user for today is Man1. It's just a made up name. It's just as good as Mary or Bob or Sam or whoever. Man1 as a Manjaro. Now when I drag this icon on the panel, because that's normally how I do it, a lot of people will do add and it'll put it in the corner, but I don't. I drag them out and drop them downstairs. As long as I have a plus key, I can drop it. And it takes the name of the actual user. So when you do this yourself, it'll have the name of your user here. Right click, properties, turn that from session menu to action buttons, and a whole bunch of buttons will light up. These are defaults. If you like, I will expand this menu out just to let you see all of them. Okay, so you may not want all of these. So this one here is your lock screen, and I'll turn it off and you'll see it disappear right off of here. The same thing with the switch user. That's the next one in line. And then the suspend one is here. I don't want that one either, but I'm going to leave the separator. Now the hibernate, if you chose that option when you installed your system, because hibernate normally requires a swap partition, then you can activate that and make it work. Other than that, don't expect it to work if you didn't choose hibernate during your installation process. Now I'm going to continue. The shutdown is normally there by default, but not the restart. So activate that if you want that button. That's this one. Again, depending on your icon set, these are different. Down here is a logout button. Down here is the same icon. This is a multi-function. It's waiting for you to click a thing. Okay. I am going to keep the original icon and turn that off. There are 2 of these. One is a dedicated logout and one is a multi-function. Close. All I wanted was 2. Now this is a dedicated 30-second shutdown. I don't need to do a thing. I can walk away from the computer. It will power off in 30 seconds. Or I can hit cancel, or I can force it to shut down. That's also another choice. I'll hit cancel. And this one is restart. If you don't want these buttons here, you want to move them, then right click on either one of them and hit move. They move as a pair. Find a red line to drop these on. They move as a pair. It doesn't matter which one I right click on. They also get removed as a pair. Move and removed as a pair. I'll put it in the corner. So all 3 of these are together. So this was the standard one that comes with your system. It's waiting for you to click something. This one is dedicated restart with a timer on it. I don't need to do a thing. It'll auto restart in 30 seconds, or I'm going to cancel it. And this is a dedicated 30-second shutdown, unless I do something else, which is cancel in this case. That is the same button as in your corner, multifunction, waiting for you to click a thing. I'm going to add 2 more, but there'll be 60-second timers on these. Right-click, Properties, Commands. Restart, Shutdown. These are all built in. I don't recommend editing these. There's nothing in here that tells you 60 seconds, okay? But trust me, they are. They're also on other Xfce distributions also. It all depends on the icon set you picked. 60 seconds and counting down. Cancel. And that's the restart with the same timer. Sorry, I didn't mean to click that one. Not going to get into that video today. All right, the whisker menu is basically talking about this box when you're talking general. The size of the application icons and the category icons are these. You can go from very small, or I call dinky, to very jumbo or very large on these 2 categories. You can also change the width by that number and the height by that number. Okay, it used to be in the past we used to grab the corner and drag it, but now it's done in here as an FYI. Thank you for watching.